So I just wanted to share with you guys something that happened tonight that was really eye-opening and everything. Um, you know, I talked previously about that the backdrop of all the stuff that I'm dealing with right now is the whole like Black Lives Matter movement and all that stuff, and COVID-19. We're fortunate enough, blessed that we have a small second home up in the mountains of Idaho. I mean, that's where I'm at right now, is that we've been able to kind of hide away while this whole virus thing has been hitting, and just kind of stay isolated. It's been a great kind of extended vacation, but we can't completely isolate ourselves from what's happening out there in the world right now, and with the death of George Floyd and lots of protests going on around the country. Um, there was actually a Black Lives Matter peaceful protest in a small Idaho town, and we got invited to go to that. I felt very uncomfortable um, at the thought of even going in the first place, but I felt like with all of this, what was going on right now, that I owed it to myself to make myself a little bit uncomfortable, just to dip my toe in the water and just see firsthand what all of this looks like. Um, and I honestly didn't know what to expect, but we showed up. There was a pretty good crowd at the park there, and what started very peacefully or very peaceful. Um, I wasn't quite aware at first of what was going on around us, but while there were many people that drove past all of us holding signs and everything, and I might add that almost everybody there was white. Idaho is very predominantly white, but we've met a couple up here, and she is half black and has been impacted by this entire movement, and so she's the one who invited us to go out there, and we felt like um, that we should absolutely go and support her and see what this is all about. And so when we got there, again, very peaceful, primarily all white people. But what I began to observe is that there were multiple people who drove by that were giving the middle finger. You could read their lips, and they were saying very unkind things. Um, and at first, again, I didn't know what to expect, but as I was soaking this in and I was experiencing it, I couldn't understand how it was like white people flipping off other white people that were protesting and advocating for the whole Black Lives Matter movement. And this just kind of blew my mind. And then there was a gentleman that was riding a bicycle past us, and he was saying all sorts of nasty things. He was calling out all the white people and calling us mother effers, and we should check the color of our skin and all this stuff. So I was just standing there. I was observing. I was a part of it, but I was just soaking it all in. And afterwards, when we got to really converse with our friends and kind of get their perspective, she's like, that went really well. It was actually really tame. And that, at that moment, really let me know how sheltered I really am from this whole thing. That just four middle fingers and some guy driving by a couple times on a bicycle yelling some obscenities at us. And I was very uncomfortable with that. And that's from my position of white privilege. Um, I still can't even begin to understand what it must be like for Black people and people of color in this country. But I got a small taste tonight, and it made me completely and totally uncomfortable. So later, as we were kind of going past, we were done with the protest. We had dinner, and we kind of ventured back there. There was still a couple people that were continuing to stand out there with signs, and there was a series of three trucks that drove by that accelerated very quickly and left a cloud of exhaust and smoke behind their truck to just make a point that they don't agree with what's going on. I mean, it's sad, it's disappointing. And what I see with all the work that I've been doing on myself is that I see a lot of hurt people out there that are hurting other people. They don't know how to deal with their own crap in order to be able to see that all humans matter. Um, and excuse me, not that all humans matter, but that all humans really are created equally. And people of color right now are they're suffering. They've been suffering for a long time. And that I got to even see just a small sliver of what's going on, and it made me uncomfortable. man, I've got it easy. So anyway, if you're listening to this, I challenge you in these times, whether it's the Black Lives Matters movement, or just dealing with your own crap. It's uncomfortable, it's painful, it hurts. But if you're sick and tired of the pain that you're in, the stress that you're in, the anxiety that you're in right now, the only path forward is to confront that stuff that makes you uncomfortable. And it's work, and it is hard work. But they always say that you'll only change when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. And that's certainly where I'm at. But where are you at in your journey? It's something that you need to think about. All right. Well, thanks for listening.